Hey, hi, Cay.
Hi, Rita.
Good to see you today. I'm here with Cay Villars at the Joining in Light Devotional Silent Center in San Juan Cosla. And I'm so happy to be here. I just feel the joy. And this center's been here since May, is that correct? May of this year?
Yeah, just opened in May.
Okay. And there's an awful lot of people that are interested in who you are and what it is that you're doing. And I understand that you have a book out, the new Covenant ACIM, and it was inspired directly from Jesus. And so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to join with you and get a little bit of the background of this book and the devotional center, and just let you kind of give us the history.
Okay. So did you want to just do that, or you want to ask questions along the
Well,
way?
kind of,
What's easiest?
why don't you just start with the devotional center and how it came in, and then how your experience with Jesus came in. And it's so intriguing. It's so interesting. So just go
Okay.
ahead and.
Well, I've been hearing Jesus for quite a long time. I probably didn't want to hear Jesus for a long time. And just been following what he'd been telling me, and he'd been sending me on trips in different places around the world in as symbols of where fear and doubt about listening to him was. So he sent me to Jerusalem and Bali and India, and had just been listening and follow, just like it says in the course. And then in the last year, about a year and a half ago, I heard to start looking for a place for a silent devotional center somewhere along Lake Chapala. I didn't know where it was going to be. And that's really all I knew. You know, there was ideas about it, but I didn't have really any kind of plans, which is very unusual because I've told some people I was a strategic planner by facilitator, but I had no plan for it. It was just, okay, find a place. So I said yes and started looking about a year ago, and then found a place around the first of the year, and it just took a little while before it really came to fruition. They were able to have it set up as a devotional center for Jesus. It's really for Jesus.
So my question is, why you?
Yeah, it's funny because
why you?
Well, because we're all called,
right?
You know, there isn't anyone who isn't called to this, really. It's like he says, so you willing to follow? I was just willing to listen to him, you know, and anyone, and that's what he makes clear. You know, you were asking me about a new covenant. Well, I just started typing in January. I just started typing, really. I asked Jesus, is it scribing? What is it? He just said it's typing. You know, he didn't have any. So I just started typing what I heard, and then I didn't have any intention for a book, or there wasn't even a book in the mind. It was just, oh, this is interesting. And then I shared it with some beings that were here in Mexico at Namaste Lake Chapala, and they kept saying, where's the next book? Where's the next chapter? And I guess I'm thinking, well, I guess that's the prompt for the next chapter. And then I'd sit down and more things would come through. And Jesus, I just kept hearing a new covenant,
Now, talk to me about that title, because it's intriguing.
Well, I just heard it.
But what is it?
Well, he's just offering, as he does in A Course in Miracles, you know, because people say, is this different for A Course in Miracles? It's sort of like the Reader's Digest for those that really, he's saying, drop the metaphysics and just be with me. You know, it's just like, be with me and ask me everything. And here I'll give you a direct means. You just talk to me, and that everyone, it's really clear, like the first page, to even imply that someone can't speak Jesus, it's not his teaching. His teaching is, you can hear me, you're taking the course, I will help you. And really how to talk to him about miracles, what miracles are needed. Like, I didn't understand before this what he really meant by, I'm head of the atonement. I guess I didn't want to know, but I'm in charge of the atonement and miracles, and you need to ask me which miracles perform. Really, before this book, I mean, I knew what miracles were, and I was asking for miracles all the time. But I didn't see like how strategic it is to talk to Jesus and say, what do I need to see? And what specifically is the desire below my awareness? So then he's just, you know, I'm typing these pages in the book and giving them away and not even thinking a book. And then I was asked to prepare it as a book to give out at the Boston ACIM conference. I told Beings that he said no. And I told that to Vicki Poppy, who had asked me to distribute it. And I didn't hear from Jesus yet. And she's so beautiful. She goes, you follow Jesus. You know, she's very devoted. So having all these mighty companions, one that were coming up going, keep typing. And like Vicki saying, no, don't. Jesus is not saying that, then don't do it. And so I didn't really even come in to be a book until after the devotional center. So that was in May, the Boston conference. Then a couple more chapters actually just came through right at the Boston conference. I'm like typing them. And then I'm going through it every line with him because it's not for anybody else. It was for me. Like he was just, look at all this. And he said in there, I will give you a new way to look. And for me, it's been everything because I just look with him strategically. Here's where I, looking through all those denials, he took the Course in Miracles beliefs and he says, let me show you how those are denials for experience. And then I'm going through, it's like, oh yes, I believe that. And I have this desire for experience and I have this desire. And he just kept showing, and he wanted this extended to all course students to say, look, this is how simple. I'm making it really simple. You're light. He calls it honesty of God. You're light. See that you're light. See that you're admit you're denying that you're light, and then be only light and cease to deny through miracles. And I'll show you which ones. And then that's what's been brought forward. And then you can, and I didn't even know how this would develop. And then all of a sudden there's all these beams jumping on. And then he said, you're going to do light circles.
Yeah, let's talk about the light circles a little bit, because that's another thing I'm noticing is becoming quite an attraction for people.
Yeah.
So the light circles, and then I had another question prior.
Okay.
Is that what did Jesus feel he needed to come forward? Why now? Why at this time to come forward with this information?
I'll ask him.
Yeah.
It's his plan.
Yeah.
He's just saying it's really simple. That served the purpose.
Okay.
And now the mind is open to this direct looking, and not play so much in the metaphysics and the mind getting involved in the course. He's going, let me show you.
Streamline.
Streamline. You're light. You can see that you're light now. See that the light's nothing to be afraid of. So even when he said, okay, you're going to do light circles twice a day. And I think it was back in March. Like, I didn't even know I was going to, it's like, okay. And one's going to be, the morning one would be course lessons, a new way to look at the course lessons, to look at denials.
Okay.
And then the night was going to be, I didn't know what it was going to be. I knew it was going to be the book and going through those denials together. It started out that way. It's like, I didn't know anything about how it would develop. I just said yes. And just focused on what he was telling me, which is, you can hear me. And we laughed about this, that he'll tell me, and then just say what I'm telling you to say.
So it makes it pretty simple.
It makes it really simple.
Yeah.
And focus on light first, which he'd been talking to me about a really long time.
Because we are light.
Joining in light. Because we're light first. Yes. And we have power. And he's really focusing that we're divine beings. And so as divine expression, we start with the light first and not play so much in consciousness in the denial of divinity. So I just said yes. It's just saying yes.
It's quite,
for me.
To me, it just seems very fearless on your part. Like, just so willing to, where were you living before you moved here?
Well, I was kind of living in different places around this area for a while. And, I lived in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I was with Muji for a while. I was at Living Miracles for a while. Yeah. But over the last year, I guess, about a year ago, I was still with Muji. And this was a surprise. Yeah. Not a surprise. It's not a surprise anymore because it's always new. It was like, it wasn't in the mind to be like this at all.
But you have just been absolutely willing to follow.
See, it was through, it was a lot of convincing, as I told, mystical vision. He had to make it so clear.
Can you share the mystical visions? Because I think-
Yeah, although, he's emphasizing it's different for each being, really. I just needed that kind of convincing.
Yeah.
because I didn't really realize I was hearing Jesus's voice. Because the play of consciousness doesn't want to hear that voice, you don't want to hear it at all.
Mhm.
And he just had appeared about 5 years ago in a mystical vision and put light in my hands in a mystical vision. And I didn't really, the eye doesn't know what that is,
Yeah.
but it was blue. And I knew that if you, somehow he communicated, it wasn't in words, that it was a shared light by everyone.
Mm.
And then the next time I was coaching in a prison at the time as a coaching behavior and beliefs. And the next time I went in a one-on-one and someone was really upset. And I just said, well, how about if we just put our hands together and we share this light, and you can put whatever you're feeling, all your feelings. We weren't even talking about thoughts or anything, just put your feelings in there in the light. And somehow I knew the light would dissolve it.
Wow.
And it did. He was like 30 seconds and he was gone. It was just, it's the correction. He was showing me the correction for me. I mean, that was the gift of that being, to show me how quick the correction is, to put it in the light. And it wasn't until I went to Muji that I saw, oh, wait, that light's not just this. That light is identity, and then just Jesus makes it richer and richer because he shows where those denials of the light are. So, and then the light, I'd have light circles with beings and they do the same thing. You put in the light, it'd be gone. And then they'd start talking like Jesus.
Talking Jesus.
Talking Jesus. So now these light circles are like an extension of talking Jesus.
So are they open to anyone?
They're open to anyone.
Anyone.
Yeah, anyone who would feel the call to them. It's open for them. Yeah.
It's a deep teaching.
It means
Beautiful
everything to
teaching.
me from the standpoint of finally saying yes to Jesus. I mean, it's like ridiculous amount of happiness in saying yes to Jesus. Like so much happiness, like he's fulfilled everything he's promised. So it's for me, so these books are out there but I just follow what he tells me.
Now, how do people access this book, New Covenant?
It's free. They can get it at our website, joininginlight.net.
Okay.
Download it freely. They have audiobooks, a loving, very loving being. Renee is doing the recording. She recorded her voice on the second half. Another very loving being, Judith, did the first half of the books. That's available freely.
Okay.
And then the
you
light
had mentioned
circles.
it's going to be on Amazon. That's something.
Yeah, we did. I hear from Jesus that we're to put it out as a hardcover book, and then it'll be available for purchase on Amazon.
Oh, beautiful. And the light circles are daily, 7
Daily.
days a week.
Yeah, in the morning, 8:30 Central Time, about depending
Okay.
on when the Mexican time changes.
Okay, 8:30 Central Time. And
Yeah,
in the
and
evening?
7 p.m.
In
in
the
the evening.
evening.
Mhm.
And they're 30 minutes. And
About 30-40 minutes, sometimes a little bit
Yeah.
longer. Yeah, just depends on what the master says.
yeah. Well, wonderful. I'm thrilled to be here, and I feel just the joy coming from you. It's such a nice feeling. And so if you're interested in joining the light circles, I've been joining religiously, no matter where I'm at. If I pull over in my car, I'm like, the light circle starting, because
Yes.
it's coming through Jesus. And so it's just so uplifting, the message.
And he's really, if I may say one more thing about it, he's really showing us, there's a Joining in Light miracle worksheet. He's really showing us really how to join with our brother in truth. Like he wrote out the instructions to make it so easy that we can come together to see what's true together. And that's available. So the Joining in Light Brigade that's coming together on Facebook, beings are just jumping on that.
So that's a Facebook page,
Yes.
Joining in Light Brigade. And are the instructions on that page?
Yes.
Okay,
It's got
on how to
little
join with your
units.
brother?
Yes.
And
Yes.
there's a whole process. You start with light,
Yeah.
and he tells us exactly how to have this healing occur.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. And you can hear him. We have videos of it's so touching in my heart because you can see the beings, all the ones that are joining the light circles are talking to Jesus. You can hear Jesus coming through them. It's the most
It is.
precious thing that we can all
And
hear
innocent.
spirit in innocence. and that he's going to help them. You can see everyone's eyes light up when they see, wait a minute, I can talk to Jesus and he can tell me. And then we talk about why they don't want to talk to Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the biggest thing he says. He
Yeah.
tells you why you don't want to be talking to him. And he's telling us all that, why we don't want to talk to him. That there's so much joy and happiness in it, really, when he shows you where those desires are, and he teaches you how to, because he'll go in there and show you exactly where they are, and then it just gets released so easy. Well, we're all seeing it here at the center. It's for all of us at the center. It's really, thank you for the invitation.
Now, is the center open to the public?
It occasionally is open, since it's a devotional silent center. Beings who really feel the call to learn how to speak with Jesus, and who are very devoted to looking at the desire to deny divinity, they can come for 1 to 3 month stays, or there are other things. They can find that at our website too, what the options are for staying. And then we join with beings outside. Our part of our function is that to support, well, it's for us to see what's true. No one, you can only see what's true for yourself. There's no one outside.
Yeah.
There's just infinite love. And so part of our function here is joining with beings who are looking to join. So we do that as well at the center by Facebook. I guess Facebook is our method now that we use.
And then these light circles are using the Zoom.
Yes,
methods, the
they're
Zoom
on
room.
Zoom. Mhm.
Okay, and then there's if people want to access the circles, how do they get the codes to go on?
They go to the website, and then there's a link. They click on it, and it'll show
Okay.
them the codes, and they can confirm the
Okay.
times. Yeah.
Okay. And is it interactive?
Well, there are different kinds of light circles. The night and the day's night circles, Jesus really is calling, just like the book, for deep contemplation with him. It's so beautiful. You're learning to speak to him in the light circles, how the light will speak to you always, under every condition. So it's a contrast between infinite light and saying no to light, and seeing where the no's are. So it's deep contemplation. And then we have other joinings where they're one-on-one.
Okay.
And you could call that like a different light circle, where 2 brothers, or it might be, 5 brothers, come together to go, okay, what is Jesus telling us we need to see right now? What denials? And then they go through those. So those are a different kind of light circle.
But Jesus is at the helm.
Oh my gosh,
Totally.
He's at the helm of everything.
Yeah.
That's the happiness.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, he's at the helm of everything.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, Rita.
Yeah, thank you so much. It seems like we're finished now.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you.
Thank you.